Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this video for the first time, or if you're coming, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're engaging my channel for the first time, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if this is your second time or your third time or your fourth time or your fifth time on this channel, thank you so much for coming back. Oh god. Hey Chimo. Please do not encourage female genital mutilation in any basis or any ground. So, female genital mutilation does not have any advantage whatsoever. It only has a myriad of problems that follow it. The next one I have here is cryptic pregnancies. I don't even know. People will just sit down and invent one thing and then convince women that are in a state of desperation and frustration. Maybe someone that hasn't had kids, she's looking for a child for 15 years. You now come and tell her that, come to my hospital, I'll give you something. If you go back, you become pregnant, but your stomach will not grow. You will not feel any sign of pregnancy. If you do pregnancy test, it will be negative. You're pregnant though. Then once you count, it's now 9 months. You come to the hospital, will now give you a baby. My dear, cryptic pregnancies do not exist. Instead, it is a camouflage that harbors a lot of crimes. Child trafficking, because that's what they do. At the end of the day, they give you somebody's child. It's not your child because we're not pregnant in the first place. Okay? So there are other options for infertility. Cryptic pregnancy is not one of them. You can do surrogacy, you can do IVF, a lot of things you can do, artificial insemination, you can even do adoption. But you going ahead to tell someone that, or someone is telling you that if you go here, they will tell you you're pregnant. If you do pregnancy test, shy to be negative, but you are pregnant, you'll be seeing your period. It doesn't mean you're not pregnant. Moving on. Okay. Then that one is nipple discharge. Females that start noticing nipple discharge on their breast, some of them think that they are pregnant. It doesn't mean you're pregnant. You might have a disorder somewhere. You might just need to be checked. So if you notice that you're having a discharge, the things to note about discharge: the color of the discharge, the quantity of the discharge, and whether it comes when you express or whether it comes on its own normally. Okay, so these are things you should know. If you notice that you're having nipple discharge, the first thing to do is to go to a hospital, not to Google it, because Google will tell you 101 things that could be wrong and you end up being depressed. First thing you need to do is actually to go to the hospital. Okay. The other thing I have here is that people believe that women that have hair are wicked, not hair like afono. And women that have hair, I was telling my friend this time, she told me it's true now, women that have hair are wicked. It's not necessarily true, please. It just means that she probably has an underlying condition that we call PCOS, means polycystic ovarian syndrome. What simply needs to be done is that woman needs to go to the hospital and get checked. She needs to see a licensed obstetrician/gynecologist so she can get checked and then know the way around it. It is very manageable. It doesn't stop you from performing your reproductive duties as a woman. You understand? There are just certain tweaks that need to be done and she'll be okay. So, another thing I have here is that cervical cancer can be prevented. No, most times we talk about cervical cancer a lot. A lot of people hear about it. Those people don't know what to do to help themselves about it, so they just stay. So for cervical cancer, 3 things you need to do is: 1, you need to find out what will predispose me to getting cervical cancer. 2, how can I prevent cervical cancer? And 3, where can I get help if anything happens? These are the things you need to find out about cervical cancer. So for things that normally predispose people to cervical cancer, it's one of them. It's multiple sexual partners. So you're sleeping with Emeka, you're sleeping with Chiagozi, you're sleeping with Daniel, you're sleeping with Ephraim, you're sleeping. My sister, there's a problem. It's important that you don't have multiple sexual partners. It is one of the predisposing factors to cervical cancer. So you have to take care of that. And cervical cancer can be prevented by taking a vaccine. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know about that. So what you need to do is just get yourself screened and take that vaccine and you'll be okay. The symptoms of cervical cancer: bleeding, either postcoital bleeding, that's bleeding during sex, or intermenstrual bleeding, like after seeing your menstrual person still bleed. All those funny things, abdominal pain, abdominal swelling. Please endeavor to see a licensed obstetrician slash gynecologist. So moving on, this one is funny. It says taking certain positions after sex, like jumping up and down. That's the one I used to hear. When you after once you do the do, once you now start jumping up and down, jumping up and down, jumping up and down, the thing will not enter. How do we say this without being? It's not possible. It's not gonna work. Okay. What's a venta? If you want to jump from Mount Everest to the floor, you're not going to change whatever. Okay. So that's not a way to prevent pregnancy. If you want to prevent pregnancy, you have to do contraceptives. That's what you have to do. Not jumping up and down and hitting your head or whipping your body so that it will shake out. Another thing I see here is that people take high dose antibiotics, armpit clogs. Hey, if you use that thing to treat anything, it will not work because people have taken it and taken it and the drug has even forgotten what it's supposed to do. Please, if you find out you're pregnant, armpit clogs will remove it. Even if you take 100 tablets, you only end up hurting yourself. Okay. Another thing I have here is menstrual cramps make you more woman. How do you used to think this thing now? It's like it's not making sense at all. Menstrual cramps do not make you more of a woman. Please. People's bodies react to things differently. People's bodies see things differently. For some women, when they're seeing their period, they have severe cramps. For some women, when they're seeing their period, they don't even have cramps. Some people don't even know they're on their period. Now, there's a certain amount of cramps that if you have, it's not normal. That's another thing I want us to know. Like, you're not able to go to work, you're not able to go to school, you can't even stand up, you'll faint, you'll be vomiting, you'll be dilapidated. That is not a good thing. You actually need to see a licensed obstetrician slash gynecologist so that they can sort you out, okay? Then another thing I have here is taking drugs for cramps can cause infertility. This is somehow true, in that if you're trying to get pregnant and you're taking those drugs, remember I mentioned in the beginning, and not in the beginning when I was talking about preconception care, that taking NSAIDs can affect your ovulation. So the same thing applies. Most times when women take NSAIDs is during menstruation, when they have terrible cramps. So taking those NSAIDs can delay your ovulation, causing a form of subfertility. Okay, but as soon as you stop it, it wears out. So actually not taking it will not cause it. Do you understand? So it's important to know that. But then some people believe that if you take it, your ovaries will shrink or your uterus will disappear. No, that's too much. I've talked about using soap to wash down there. Another thing people do is to spray their perfume. You never spray your body finish. You said they have body odor, but no, you left your armpits to go down there. How are we going to help you? This if I don't know. It's a weekly. Anyway, I think we've come to the end of this video. If at this point you're still watching, I hope you learned something. If you have any more questions, send me a message on Instagram. Let's talk. If something caught your interest, you can leave a comment below. And yeah, you can also share your experiences too and help other women. So at this point, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and share too if you learned something. Without further ado, I'll have to go now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Yes. Wow, no, still running. I'll cut it out.